Hey everybody, it is Mike over here from Growtopia, and well, obviously it's October, not just because the hat's orange, but apparently it's Burrtober. We've had some crazy chilly temperatures, and we had a close call with two wild hurricanes that were just circling around each other and got very close, but luckily our high pressure in New York pushed the hurricanes out to sea, so we survived a little bit longer. Well, it's this time of the year, it's getting cold. If you still have your tropicals outside, definitely want to bring them in. The other day we had temperatures at, it was like about 4 in the morning. It was about 40 something degrees. Definitely not good for your tropicals. So they got to come in today. So I got my tropicals I got to bring in, and then also my citronella plants that are growing out there that are now 3 times the size as they were. They have to also come in and go into different pots. And they're going into the big barrels that I have, which I'll show you right now if I dig one out, which is my big barrel planters. I like these because I like the look of them. They're big, and they work perfect if you're trying to hide from somebody, but they're great. So my banana has to go into one of these, and my citronellas have to go into these, and then they got to come inside. And hopefully I have enough soil and stuff. But what I'm going to be doing is all these planters are going to get the normal mix that I have, is the soil that I have in the ground, my compost that I have, and then the soil that comes out of a bag as well is all going to go into these planters. And all that matter and that material will break down. Now as I take the plants out at the end of the year and I bring them, in the beginning of the year when I take them out and I put them back out into the garden. Or I keep them in a bucket. But the bucket's going to be really big for the citronellas, so instead of burying the citronellas, I might just leave them in a bucket and just put the buckets all over the place. Why not, right? And the citronellas are a very good bodyguard plant for your tomatoes as well. So as I'm getting blinded by the UFO that's staring in my window, give me 1 second. Jesus. Oh. I got my planters. I tell ET, like, yo, you got to turn it down. So for the month of October, and as you start going along, do you say to yourself, hey, what else am I doing? What am I growing still? September, I didn't really talk about anything. August, I didn't really mention stuff because I'm only growing certain things. Like September, I got spinaches, squashes, radishes, kales, beets, arugula, Swiss chard, parsley, and cilantro, artichoke as well that you can start. But I got stuff growing already, so I didn't really need to talk about much anything. But what's great with October is October starts your transitioning period. And your transitioning period is, if you're in zone 7A like I am, this is a perfect time you could start growing your brassicas, such as lettuces, such as spinach. You got your kale, your Swiss chard, your radishes, your turnips, your parsley, cilantro, arugula. And arugula can go right into like with November with it. And you got November, you got like your carrots as well. You got your garlic, you got onions, green onions, scallions, peas, and then all your brassicas in November. You could start them indoors, move them outside. You got beets, turnips, radishes, tulips, daffodils. You want to plant them in the ground before it gets frozen, leeks. And then if you notice, like as December hits, it's lettuce, spinach, carrots, parsley, cilantro. So for the next 3 months, it's the same rinse, wash, repeat. And what you're doing is you're basically stagger planting. So like if you grow romaine, if you start your romaine, I keep hearing this buzzing sound. It's my security camera going. See, my camera watching me. I keep hearing this like Anyway, if you have, let's say you're growing romaine, right? And a month later you start another one. It's going to take almost a month and a half for that one to catch up to the other one. So when you go to harvest that romaine, you already have more romaine growing. Now, what's great around October, and it's also crazy too, is that not only am I bringing my tropicals in, but now I'm taking a look at what's growing outside and in the greenhouses and in the bedroom and figuring out what's next. As we bring the plants inside, the windows get closed And because of the space in here, now the grow lights have to come on. So, for an example, where my coffee tree is, which has been doing very, very good since I moved it indoors. Now, like I've said before, coffee trees are very cool, but they're extremely toxic to cats and dogs. So please keep them in a place where your animals aren't going to touch them, unfortunately. So I have them in my nursery with the door closed at all times. That's fine. It's a better peace of mind. I water it once a week, and it loves the window. But I have my banana I got to bring in. I got my lemon and my lime I got to bring in. I got my citronellas I got to bring in. And this whole area here, as you can see, like this, I got to clean this up a little bit and move everything over. But all these different sections over here, such as by the closet, once we make sure that nothing else is going in that closet, this whole area gets filled with plants. And then the plants get back there. Now you can see I got stuff like my avocado that's seen better days, but I've been playing with different things with my avocado. The grow lights have to now come on in here for the plants so that they get the proper lighting that they need, especially when they're not going to be by the window. So that comes into play as well. And then also, if you want to start anything indoors, which currently for the month of October, I am not starting anything in the nursery. Now that I got all these different areas, I could actually just direct sow it. So like I'm going to go through the bedroom and look at the 3 beds and see which bed needs a cleaning. Crops that got killed because of the super hot heat of the summer. So it was a good experiment. I wanted to see what I can grow during the summer. And I was able to grow a decent amount of stuff, and some stuff's actually still growing. But other stuff got completely annihilated when that room went straight up to 80 degrees. I'm going to try to make these videos short. I'm watching the clock on here, so I don't really want to go past 15 minutes and bore everybody. But for the month of October, I'm probably not going to really plant anything, probably other than I'll probably plant like lettuce and radishes, spinach maybe, turnips. Apparently my stomach wants turnips, and ET is shining me in the face again. So anyway, that's basically what I'm going to be planning on for the next 3 months, is probably just lettuces, romaine, and stuff like that. But I'm going to go out there. I got to pull out the tropicals. I'll meet you guys outside to show you how I do that, how I take my tropicals out of the ground, how to repot them, and all that fun stuff. So anyway, guys, this is Mike from Growtopia. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. Get out there and grow something. Stay tuned. There's more to come. This is Mike. Later.